everybody Loves Raymond led to you meeting Raymond, or
yes,
or did
exactly.
you know, or you knew him from back in the day?
Even though we were both born in Queens.
Yes.
Are you from New York too?
I'm from Staten Island, sir.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Great.
Which is why I'm an Italian food guy through
All
and through.
the best people.
Yes.
So
Thank you.
Ray and I never met, but I saw a stand-up one night on Letterman, and it just so happened that very night, Letterman said there should be a sitcom for that guy. And so months
you were just
later,
sitting home watching it?
Yeah, and I didn't think anything about it until I got a video cassette of this comedian and that appearance, and I put it in, and I go, I remember that. That was months ago. Right. I saw it. I loved it. Thought he was hilarious. Do you want to take a meeting with him? They're looking for somebody to create a show for him, and you're a writer. That's how it works. Writers look for comic talent to write scripts for.
Right.
Comedians need, comedy sitcom writers.
Right.
So we meet at Art's Deli.
Art's Deli here in Los Angeles.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
He flew out here.
If I'm not mistaken, at Art's Deli, every sandwich is a work of art.
Yeah. See that?
That's the name. That's the phrase.
That's exactly right.
Deli. Okay. So that's where you met. All right.
He tells me about his family. He says, I got twin boys and an older daughter. We were just talking. We're just I don't know him. He doesn't know me, but if we were going to work on a project together, I said, tell me about yourself. Twin boys and older daughter. My parents live close by. They were always bothering me. My older brother lives with them, and he's a police sergeant. He's very jealous of me. He saw an award I won for comedy. He said, never ends for Raymond. Everybody loves Raymond. I said, well, doesn't seem like there's anything there we can use. No, I thought that's a good starting point.
Sure.
He never acted before, so that's a good place to begin.
Right.
And what I didn't know about the characters in his family, I filled in with the personalities from my family. So the show's kind of this unhappy marriage of the two families.
Interesting.
Yes.
Well, we had him on the show, I believe it was last year. It could have been the year before.
And it didn't stop. It didn't kill the show?
No.
You're still going?
No, we're still going. We're still going. He told the story about coming up with the title himself with you as well. And I'd love to get your end of the story from here. Roll it, please.
Here's what it was. Yeah. Everybody Loves Raymond was a sarcastic comment that my brother was a New York City police officer.
Yes.
And at the time, one day he said, I go to work, people shoot at me. Raymond goes to work, and everybody loves Raymond. That's a true quote from my brother. So in writing the script with Phil Rosenthal, I told him that story. He said, well, we got to put that in, and not only that, but let's make it the title. And I said, no. He goes, it's a working title. We'll change it. Yeah. And then that happened. So then I came up with, my manager still has a little piece of paper with all the alternates I put in, but some of them are absurd.
You got some of them? What
it was... because you have to keep Raymond in the title. So it was That Raymond Guy. Mm-hmm. And one of them was Raymond. U-M, Raymond.
Raymond.
Yes. Anyway, the CBS took... I gave them this list, and they said, we'll test it. And they test, like they do everything. They test it.
Yeah.
They put it in front of an audience. And they said, everybody loves Raymond, tested better.
And
true.
This is all... true.
100% true. His real brother said it. I put it in the script.
Yes.
My wife read the script. She was the first person to read the script. And she said, that should be the title of the show. And I just put it on there. I wasn't lying to Ray, tentatively, because I couldn't think of a better title. That sounds pretty good. It harkens back to I Love Lucy.
Of course.
And we're doing a kind of old school type of comedy, which I happen to cherish. I love those shows. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if he told you this, but he called the president of CBS at the time when we were going. He goes, can we at least change the title? And he goes, Ray, it tested well, the title. Everyone likes it, so we'll leave it for now. And he goes, but I don't want to be the guy. I can see the critics already. Not everybody loves that, right? And so the head of CBS goes, I tell you what, you become a top 10 show. You can call the show whatever you want. Next year, we were a top 10 show. Ray couldn't wait to call the president of CBS and say, okay, can we change the title? And the guy goes, can't change it now. It's a top 10 show.
He said that, so he did actually tell that story. So that happened.
Absolutely true.
He didn't want any part of everybody.
He would change it now. He can't take the pressure.
That horse is out of the barn.
Yes, Raymond. Get used to it. Everyone loves you.
I know. Everyone
I love
does.
him. Whenever I see him, I say, Raymond, thanks for the good life.
Right?
Right?
Because Letterman was the producer,
And I
right?
thank
Worldwide
him too.
Pants.
Worldwide Pants.
When you see this photograph on the screen, what do you think of?
I
When you see
think
that
it's
picture?
so sweet. I could cry looking at it. You know, it's nice to win awards, but the
at you
award
guys.
is just a souvenir of a great night that you got to have with your friends.
You got a good Peter Boyle story when you
Sure I do.
How you casted him or what happened?
Oh, yeah. So also, President of CBS, it was his idea. How about Peter Boyle for the father? I'm like, Peter Boyle's available to be a sitcom dad? To me, he's a major movie star. Joe, Young Frankenstein.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah.
Friends of Eddie Coyle.
Taxi Driver. He was in Taxi
Incredible.
Driver. Yeah.
He wants to do a sitcom? He said, I think so. You should meet him. So I meet him, and he couldn't find us on the lot. It was a very hot day at Universal Studios, and he got wrong directions, and he had, for some reason, he had his wife and kids with him. I guess he was taking them to Universal, and he was going to stop off see this guy.
Yeah.
This kid.
Sure.
He comes in, he's really mad because he couldn't find the place. So it's not just Joe or Young Frankenstein coming in. It's angry Young Frankenstein coming in.
Sure.
And he just scared the hell out of me. And I said, the part is yours.
Because there's no...
And then he turns out to be a pussycat. Here's two things about him.
Sure.
He studied to be a monk. Mm-hmm. Did you know that?
Nope.
I said, why'd you give it up? He goes, there weren't enough girls there. and then the second thing was, you know who best man at his wedding was?
No.
John Lennon.
What?
That's right, because his wife Lorraine, they met when she was a reporter for Rolling Stone magazine. She got an assignment, go cover this movie, Young Frankenstein. So she goes to cover the movie, and she meets Peter, and they fell in love. Her best friend was Yoko. And then the four of them are hanging up. I've seen pictures of them like in the hot tub.
So John Lennon
was best
Peter
man.
Boyle's best man.
There were maybe 5 people at the wedding, but that's isn't that cool?
God.
And he was a very liberal-minded guy, not what he portrayed. Mm-hmm. And a pussycat. Sweet. Great.
Did he sing Putting on the Ritz at his wedding? I don't know.
No, but we did an episode. We did a Halloween episode. And we dressed him up as Frankenstein monster. And I thought that the real reason to do this is that Marie, Doris Roberts, we dress her as Bride of Frankenstein.
Was he all in on that idea?
Of course. And the audience loved it. Little inside joke.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.